Hello, beautiful people. I hope you're having a wonderful day, sending you all the best positive vibes out there that I can. Today, I got inspired to talk to you guys about the stories that we tell ourselves a little bit more. I know that's something I've talked about a little bit already when it comes to self-love and telling ourselves negative stories, but how those stories, today I want to talk about how those stories can affect our relationships, okay? So a lot of times when we are in an insecure place, when we don't feel safe within ourselves or we feel less than, we don't feel good enough, the way that we relate to other people starts coming from a needy place of validation, right? A lot of times when we are in that needy place of validation state, the interpretation that we make about other people's actions towards us is gonna be based on that, and it's gonna, more likely than not, it's gonna be a negative interpretation of what might be going on over on their side of the fence, right? Like if somebody's not calling us back or something like that. So when we fall into this thought loop of creating a negative narrative to explain somebody else's actions because we are in an insecure place, a lot of times when we finally do get to engage with that person, we are already predisposed to have something against them, and we're likely to come at them from a place of anger and a place of accusation, okay? So this happens a lot in relationship dynamics, and it's something we have to watch out for, because once we come at somebody from an angry place, what is likely to happen, unless that person is extremely self-aware and extremely empathetic, is that they are going to go into defense mode. Okay, so although we are in an insecure place and we're needing validation and we're needing reassurance and we're needing more love from somebody, right? That's often why we come at them angrily when they don't give us the attention that we want, or, you know, we're just not getting what we think we need from them. We come and we find ourselves coming at them angrily. What we're really doing is, by engaging the angry emotions, is protecting more vulnerable emotions, right? Anger is a secondary emotion. It's like the bodyguard of the emotional system. And this is something that you guys are gonna hear me saying over and over again in my videos, but anger is a bodyguard of the emotional systems, and it is what we go to when we don't feel safe or we don't give ourselves permission to acknowledge and be aware and accept the softer, more vulnerable emotions that are lying underneath, right? So once again, back to this example of, you know, being in an insecure, needy place with somebody and coming at them from an angry place and inspiring defensiveness in that person. Although what we needed was more love and validation, when we come at somebody angrily, what we're actually doing is pushing them away, okay? And you might notice that if you've ever been in this dynamic, somebody came at you like this, or you came at somebody like that because you were hurt, you didn't end up getting your needs met, right? So we tried these strategies from an emotional place, ultimately wanting to get our needs met, but we're doing the exact opposite of what we need to be doing in order to accomplish that. What we really want to do when we are in an insecure place in our relationships is to acknowledge what is hurting us, acknowledge what we're fearing right now. Once we allow ourselves to do this, instead of immediately jumping to anger, then we have a much greater chance of being able to approach that person and say, hey, you know, I'm sad, or I'm afraid that maybe you don't want to spend time with me because of this and that. Is that true? Right? Or, you know, ask them for their side of the story. And when we are able to come at somebody from a place of vulnerability, even though a lot of times in this culture and our upbringing, we've been taught that vulnerability is weakness, that's not true at all. If we're able to tap into our vulnerability and have conversations and engage in difficult situations from that place, from a strong place of vulnerability, then we're able to express what's really going on for us. And the chances of somebody being open to hearing us because we are in a softer place increases exponentially, right? Because we're no longer making it about them. We're taking responsibility for the role that our emotions are playing in this situation. And then we're asking them for their side of the story. We're not immediately starting out by accusing them. When we do that, we have you know, like I said, unless it's a very emotionally self-aware person, we're basically really short-circuiting our chances of the possibility of having any kind of healthy or effective communication, okay? So it's really important for us to acknowledge what is underneath the anger, and especially if the anger is based on a story that we were telling ourselves when we were insecure. Acknowledge what's underneath that anger, and then seek clarification with the person that we are interested in engaging with, in whatever manner we are interested in doing that. Seek clarification from them and hear out their side of the story. Not from a place of attack, not from a place of anger, but from a place of curiosity and a place where we are okay with our softer, vulnerable emotions, so they don't have to be afraid of being attacked. They get to explain themselves, they get to explain their side of the story. And at the end of the day, like, it might still not be what we want, but the chances of facilitating and opening up healthy dialogue and healthy communication when we acknowledge the role that our emotions are playing in our current state and in our fears and our insecurities is much higher, okay? So give yourselves the chance to acknowledge what is really going on within yourself before you come at somebody angrily, if you really want to have a chance of actually getting your needs met. All right? You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Love you.